Good afternoon, everyone. This is Roman with 360 Short Sale Negotiators, just giving you an update on our local California market. What we're finding here in February and March 2012 is that short sales are heating up more than ever. We're going to have more short sales in 2012 than ever before. The numbers justify it, and I'll get into that in just a second. But what we are seeing is actually fewer foreclosures. There are fewer foreclosures here as well as across the country because these banks are trying to use some other strategies than foreclosing on these defaulted mortgages. Things such as short sales, refinancing, loan modification, extending the mortgage term. So for example, homeowner originally took out a 5-year adjustable rate mortgage on a 30-year mortgage, and now these banks, in order to make the property more affordable for these homeowners to stay in the homes, are making it a 40-year loan, making the payments smaller. We are seeing some principal reductions and some rate reductions to keep these homeowners in place, and all of that is leading to fewer foreclosure activity. These banks are not interested in foreclosing on these homes because studies have shown that the banks end up losing more with a foreclosure than they do with a different workout program. If a bank does a short sale, on average they'll lose about 20%, whereas a foreclosure they'll lose in the magnitude of 35%. Significant difference. We're seeing notice of defaults reducing. In California, we saw a 12% reduction in the notice of defaults year over year in February. This number peaked in 2009, first quarter, at 135,000 notice of defaults issued. In the same month, in February, we saw 61,500. That's a reduction of over half of the notice of defaults issued. LA County, that number was down about 13% year over year in February. Short sales are increasing. Almost 20% of all of California's sales were short sales this last year. And that's up about 10.5% year over year, and up 20.7% since 2010. We're now seeing 20% more short sales in the market than we did 2 years ago. It's very significant, and that number will climb this year as well. In total, Southland distressed property sales, that's taking into account both short sales and REOs, total 52.5% of the total sales activity that we're seeing here. So it's a huge chunk of the market, the REOs and the short sales, more than half of all of our sales. On average, we're seeing that it's taking longer for banks to issue notice of defaults. On average, California homeowners are about 9 months behind before the banks actually issue a notice of default. That is a figure that should be on normally 3 months. So we're seeing 6 months more. The bank is trying to use other strategies, such as the ones I mentioned, for 6 months before they actually issue the notice of default, begin the foreclosure process, the default process to foreclose on that property. In general, as I mentioned, foreclosures have gone down. In Q4 of 2011. We saw 31,260 foreclosures. That's down about 12%, 11.8% year over year, quarter over quarter. And the biggest number for that was in Q3 of 2008. We saw 79,500 foreclosures. Just to compare that, our smallest number of foreclosures ever was in Q2 of 2005. Only 637 homes were foreclosed. So you see that huge variance. We're talking about 79,000 difference, 79,000 home difference in terms of homes that were foreclosed in 1 quarter. That's a huge difference. So now that number is down to about 31,000. We anticipate that number will continue to decrease over time. In LA County, that number was down about 3.9%. year over year. We're also noticing that Wachovia and Wells Fargo is very backed up, both on quantity of short sales that have been submitted to them, as well as their formal merger with their systems between Wachovia and Wells Fargo. So add about 1 to 1.5 months to your negotiations there. Thank you for tuning in. This is Roman with 360 Short Sale Negotiators. I'll go ahead and update you on a regular basis as to what our California market looks like here. And please feel free to call us here at 360 Short Sale Negotiators or email us. You can email me directly, Roman at 360ssn, as in shortsalenegotiators.com. Please look at our blog on a regular basis for the latest updates, and also become a fan of ours on our 360 Short Sale Negotiators Facebook page. Thank you. Have a great month.